Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, Rising Oblivion, and welcome back to another video. We have another update regarding Persona 5 Scramble, or in the English-speaking world, the Persona 5 Strikers, which it was rebranded as. Once again, I don't know why they did that, but Persona 5 Strikers or Scramble, however you take it, did not appear on the publisher's Koei financial report. So we had learned about the Persona 5 Scramble name switch to be Persona 5 Strikers because during Koei's not most recent financial report, the one before that the name had been changed for the Western release of Persona 5 Strikers, Scramble, whatever way you want to say it. We did not see that in this most current financial report. It was nowhere mentioned on their recent financial report. So a lot of people have been scrambling around, no pun intended, worried about it not actually showing up. Did they forget about us? Did they forget about the Western release? Did they not even include it? Are they dropping it? Are they pushing it back? What's going on here? Well, this always ends up being something because of COVID at the end of the day. Let's go all the way back to the start of the year where we thought we were going to be actually getting the Western release of the game. Because we're getting close to about a year now where it's going to be released in Japan, but we have not gotten it into the West. Give it another like 3 or 4 months. So I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that they have a lot on their plate here, and there is a lot of things going on with just Persona and SMT in general over at Atlus. Yes, at the end of the day, Koei is the publishers for them, but that does not necessarily mean that it is 100% Koei's fault, the fact that it isn't in a financial report. There is a good chance that Atlus, or over at Sega there, who also does the trademarking and whatnot, there is a good chance that Sega or Atlus just does not have the time to do this currently right now, and having to do the Persona 5 animation might have been something that they were more focused on first. You notice how the Persona 5 animation came out? Well, those are the exact same characters that we would see in the Western release of Scramble, so that makes a lot of sense. They were doing that more than likely doing the Persona 5 Scramble release. Here is what I think is going on here. I think this is a little bit of a mix of COVID. Hopefully that doesn't knock this video down because of YouTube. I think it's a little bit of a mix of COVID, a little bit of a mix of Atlus having a lot on their plate right now. They're also probably trying to do the English version of SMT3. You know, it's different people, obviously, but that's also another thing that they're trying to also work. Those are more booths over at Atlus, which is, you know, a Japan-based company, but they actually do the dubbing over in California. Aaron Fitzgerald, who's been on my Twitch channel a couple times, has talked to me about how they do stuff over at Atlus in terms of their voice acting. She's, I don't know, I guess an acquaintance or a friend of mine. She follows me on social media, and I follow her back on Twitch and stuff like that. We follow each other, so I guess she's kind of cool with me. I'm not 100% sure. She does Chie's voice. She does Futaba's mom's voice. She does some different voices in Catherine as well, but she's told me about that and how they actually do that stuff over in California. There is a good chance that the booth is being taken up for multiple different things over for the English dubbing for Atlus's studios. At the end of the day, Atlus is getting bigger, but they might not have a ton of dubbing studios, and they are worried about their other things that they're trying to do, like SMT and SMT5. So there is a good chance that those are the reasons why we're seeing this pushed back. The fact that it's not in the financial report might just mean that they're not focusing on that right now, that they are focusing on other stuff like the other SMT games. Maybe there's a new project coming down the pipeline. Something like that might be what's going on here. I think we would have had this game come out much sooner if we didn't have half of the year where people literally just couldn't get into a booth to dub anything. It's a miracle that the animation came out somewhere around in the summer. That makes me to believe that they did that immediately around the summer whenever they sort of had the chance to actually go into somewhere, but I'm sure it slowed down the process a lot as well. So they might not be dubbing this thing currently. They might be focusing on other projects, but we'll have to keep our eye out for the next term, the next financial report, to really see what's going on here. I don't think this project is canceled. The fact that they have had this on their financial report means that they have worked on it. They have switched the name to the Persona 5 Strikers, in the English-speaking territories. So we know that they have switched the name. It's something they have in mind. It's definitely something they have worked on. The fact that they'd switched the names, put it in their financial reports once, more than likely means that they are just taking a break from it right now. They might be working on other projects. Who knows? Maybe they're using the Persona 5 characters, the voice actors. Maybe they're using them for some different things that we don't really know right now. So there's a good chance that a lot of stuff like that is the reason why we're not quite getting this. I don't think this means that we are going to not see the game release. I still think we are going to see it. I just think it's going to be delayed for quite a while. Yeah, I think it's going to be delayed for quite a while. And even right here, it says a previous financial report, Persona 5 Scramble back in July. So it was in July, so that's just a couple months ago that we had seen it. So it's still fresh in their minds. But I think they're probably working on some other things first and moving this back. So unfortunately, I don't think it's canceled. Or unfortunately, I don't think I said that wrong. I think fortunately it's not canceled, but it's probably unfortunately pushed back. We probably will not be seeing this thing until next year. Best bet, I don't think we're getting this at least till December holiday season. Possibly, but JRPGs, and a lot of times they don't care about the whole holiday season thing. Typically, a lot of American games, Western games, they release around November, October, December, holiday season. That's just an annual thing. JRPGs and stuff like that over in eastern parts of the world in Asia, they do not care. So there's a good chance that we'll see this game probably next year. There seems to be a lot of things coming out for Atlus first quarter of next year, second quarter, so forth. There seems to be a lot of stuff coming out. They might be also working on other things like getting Persona 3 on Steam, remastering it there. We know they're trying to do a lot more ports, which means more ports. That might mean they'd have to do more voice acting work in their booths. Their booths might just be filled up, and with COVID, they might be having to do a system that might make it a little bit difficult to get everybody in, get each of the characters voiced, and on time. So there really is just kind of a storm going on over with them. I'm not thinking this thing's canceled until Atlus says something themselves. I think going off a financial report is kind of jumping the gun a little too soon. I am a little bit optimistic because of how much I love the series and how much I love the games, but honestly, if this wasn't anything else, I wouldn't really think much about it either. I think it is kind of jumping the gun. If we hear some news directly from Atlus, that will make me think otherwise. If we hear something about them saying booths are filled up, we're thinking about canceling certain projects, then maybe I will start to get worried, because I think this is one that they might potentially end up closing down if they're trying and remaster some of the other games, port some more games to Steam. They know that the fans want a lot of stuff ported, so they might be working on something like that, and their English booths over in California, over at Atlus's American studios, they might be filled up. So that could be a very good reason why we're seeing something like that, and they might have some more animation stuff down the pipeline. Who really knows? From what I heard, a lot of people didn't like the English Persona 5 animation. A lot of people didn't like that. I'm not 100% sure why. I haven't watched it quite yet. I've been super busy doing a lot of different stuff, so I haven't gotten to that yet, but who really knows? There's a lot of stuff going on here. So what I think, guys, just wait till Atlus says something. Don't think it's canceled until Atlus actually brings up a point about it. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Stay subscribed if you want to be kept up to date with more news regarding anything Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, Atlus, just stuff like that in general. I do other stuff like Final Fantasy, other anime games and whatnot, so I will always keep up to date. Just make sure to subscribe, click the bell if you always want to be updated on the most brand new information you can find for this stuff. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.